Well, listen, we're here with Paul Wight, Joey Franchize here, face of the franchise pod, Wild 94.1. Uh, First and foremost, it's an honor. I've been watching you wrestle for years. I've had the pleasure of watching you in the past live, and it's amazing, and you're ginormous, and it's,
Is
dude,
that just a nice way of saying I'm old? I've been watching you for years.
I mean, seasoned, man. It was seasoned,
Seasoned.
seasoned.
Yeah. I
There
use
you,
the I use the analogy. I'm like Snake Plissken from Escape from New York. Hey man, I
oh,
thought you were dead. No, I'm still alive, bro. I'm doing my thing. Like I just don't have an eye patch. I'm here. I'm good.
Still doing your thing. I've been
Yeah.
watching you on social. You've been on a weight loss journey.
Yeah, man.
Congratulations to that. That's been amazing.
Yeah. It's almost like an arm, only smaller. Yeah.
How is that? It's so weird to see you transforming, like your transformation. So, what kind? I mean, obviously, as we get, to a certain age, I'm at the point where it's
Yeah.
just like, man, I got to shed weight. What's your secret? What has been your routine lately? How you been, looking great, man.
It's nothing I've done the battles with weights and dieting before. I've done keto. I've done all these different things, carb cycling. Um, the one thing is staying active. I had a bunch of injuries that kind of made the activity difficult. But once we get all healed up, now starting that process, what are we going to do? And I just wasn't feeling any kind of crazy diets. So no matter what diet you do, you have to take in less calories than you burn. So I kind of eat whatever I want, but I only eat a certain amount of calories a day. I burn right at 3,500 doing nothing. I
Wow.
work out and train, I burn a little over 5,000, and I take in 2,700 calories a day.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
3,500 calories saved is 1 pound of fat. So on average, I'm burning about 2.5 pounds of fat a week, which is a lot, but because I'm bigger, um, it's about average. So just steady. Yeah, man. You know,
That's
if I
awesome.
yeah, if I want a cookie, I'll have a cookie, but I'll know, hey, that little ass cookie's got 90 calories in it or 60 calories.
Yeah.
So
Now, are you keeping a journal of these things?
yeah, I
Wow.
do keep a journal. Everything I put in my mouth, I write down in my little app. And
Oh,
it's
wow.
sucks
Okay.
because you'll have something, you're like, oh, I can have this. And then you go through and find the calories. You're like, damn, it's only 3 o'clock. If I have that, I'm done till tomorrow.
Yeah.
I might get hungry. Let me find something a little less. Let me find, where's that chicken breast? Oh, okay. Ooh, I can have some more chicken around 8 o'clock if I get hungry. If you stay disciplined with it, it'll force you to make better decisions. I mean, there's still some days you're like, yeah, I'm not going to eat today. I'm going to have pizza and watch the game. I'm going to get pizza today. So this is it. But yeah, it's just make sure I burn more calories than I take in. That's it.
Man,
Nothing fancy.
gotta respect. I love asking these questions because I have the same thing. I just kind of never know how to shake the weight. It just kind of goes like this and just fluctuates, and it just to find a good you know regiment to
Activity is
kind
the
of
thing.
follow.
Here's the thing: your body will cheat because your body doesn't care what you're doing on the outside, doesn't care how you feel about yourself, you look. Your body's like, oh, we need to survive. We need to get calories. You feed it empty calories, it's going to want more empty calories because it's not getting nutrition. If you eat healthier food with better calories, your body's like, oh, okay, we're good. And you move. Well, your body doesn't know you're exercising by elevating your heart rate. Your body thinks there's a big tiger out there chasing you. So your body's like, hey, we need to drop some weight before we become food. So that's why you start burning the fat. Okay, we're getting regular protein, we're getting vegetables, we're getting our carbs. The hunting's good, but we're doing an awful lot of running. So there must be predators out here. So we don't need this extra stuff. When you sit on your keister and you're eating empty carbs, your body's like, yeah, this food's all right, but ain't no, we need to eat some more of it. We're not getting enough nutrition. And then you're not moving. It's like, well, we can save it because there ain't no predators. We're not running.
Right.
So that's how your body works on the inside. It's my stupid little analogy of how I make things work. So right now, I got my body scared to death. We're in the jungle, and we got tigers chasing us all the time. Cardio in the morning, cardio at night, weight training. My body's trying. Hey man, I get complaints to my body's HR department all the time. It's like, hey man, we're old. You need to find a place to hide to sit down. I'm like, no, we got to go. So
I see. I need to trick my mind and my body to
yeah,
think exactly like that right there, Paul.
yeah.
Well, Paul, listen, we're here because AEW's Beach Break is presented by Visit St. Pete Clearwater going down tomorrow, Wednesday, July 8th. You're involved in it. I gotta congratulate you on first off the new deal a couple months ago.
Thank
with
you.
AEW. Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you. Let's thank Tony Khan because Tony Khan still sees something in me. So I'm grateful for
There,
that.
there you go.
Yeah.
Now your
Helps when
last
your boss likes you. It kind of
that
helps.
hey, that helps a whole lot when your boss
Yeah.
likes
And
you for
and
sure.
when he's one of those bosses that understands what you've been through and your vision, he's like, yeah, we're going to make this happen. I want to see this happen too. So you're like, yeah, that's good because hey, this is a tough business, But I'm very grateful and very happy, and that's why I'm here to kick butt.
Absolutely. And your last match was the day before my birthday, January 29th, a couple years ago. Who Jericho,
Yeah.
who will be who I'm excited to see fight this
Oh, on the
tomorrow.
on the cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Then 2 days later, I had knee replacement surgery.
And you went out a champion though. Now are you with the surgeries, with the weight loss journey, is your intention to get back in that ring?
Oh
You still
yeah, yeah.
got it.
I'm gonna do something in Clearwater. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. All this is like we haven't been in the ring, but we've been conditioning and training and pushing sleds and pulling sleds and doing all this stuff to get everything working again. In front. I've had 11 surgeries in 7 years, so a lot of different
Wow.
stabilizer muscles, especially on my left hip, got cut so many times
Mm.
trying to rebuild that mind muscle connection. So there's a lot of balance and things I'm working on and getting that stuff better so I can get in the ring and play. Yeah. Because that's all I haven't gone through all this just to look pretty when I'm older. I have a plan. I have stuff I want to do. I want to do more wrestling. I have, doing more films and TV and stuff. Like I want to do stuff. I don't want to sit on my butt and talk about how great I am. What's today? What's tomorrow? Let's get going.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. And you've had such a storied career, a legend, definitely Hall of Fame worthy. What made AEW the right fit for you at this stage of your career?
Well, when I started with AEW, Tony Khan, the biggest thing was I could compete. That was the biggest hang up for me. I wanted to still compete. There's a lot of guys that are great trainers and great guys backstage. Billy Gunn, amazing trainer. QT Marshall, amazing trainer. I mean,
Yeah.
despite QT's character on TV, guy is a great trainer and can work his butt off. Understands what to get done. There's great producers backstage. You got, Daniel Bryan's around there. Brian Danielson's around there a lot. So there's a lot of, Adam and Christian. There's a lot of great minds back there. That's not my gig. My thing where I can help out is being in the ring with guys. Because you understand, when I worked and did my best work, was working 5 days a week for 25 years, working with all the young talents that were coming through from Kofi and Woods and Big E and
Right.
all those guys at Rusev and Cesaro, all those guys, I was on the road with them 5 nights a week. We were working and I was in there with them mixing it up. And we were learning about timing and presentation and a lot of that stuff is where I can help the younger talent because while we're in the heat of the moment, I'll notice, hey, did you feel that? Did you hear that? This is why we did this. When you're on the outside, the back, like young guys listen in the back and they're nice, but they really listen when you're in the ring because there's a connection. And I think that's where I have a lot of value to it. Plus, I have some pretty good old stories from the crazy days that pops the younger guys. So, and gals too. Some of the gals like the stories too. So, it's fun for me, man. I mean, there's being an office guy is not really my thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I fought that tooth and nail. I remember one time WWE came to me many years before I left, wanting me to be a producer. I said, please don't do that to me. I'll quit now. I don't want
Wow.
to be a producer. I didn't want to be on that side of the coin. I'm not a general, I'm not a captain, I'm a soldier. I get in the mud, let's mix it up. So that's my deal.
A guy likes to get his hands dirty. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, Paul, you mentioned kind of mentoring these guys like while in the ring and having that connection. Is there any guys in AEW that have really impressed you as of late?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. We've got a lot of really outstanding young talent there. I mean, they're doing well now. Like when I first got introduced to them, they were really just starting to kick it off. But Kyle Fletcher's doing amazing. Takeshita is an amazing talent. Both of those will be wrestling tomorrow night too against each other. Matter of fact, and they're two young. Uh, I guess you refer to them as studs, whatever you want to call thoroughbreds, whatever you want to call them. They're big. They're talented. They know their characters. They can get it done in the ring. Um, Talent that's not really being used yet to their capacity. Satnam Singh, that's an easy one for me. That's a direct line.
Nice.
Like when I first started, I had Taker in the corner because I tagged with Taker when I first started in WWF, and I can do the same thing with Sutton. That's one of the things because he's such a good kid and a good guy. Like, but he's just a massive human being. Sutton's huge.
Oh
He's
yeah.
got to be seven
Yes.
one 2, 380, 390. I've seen him, bench pressing, 500 pounds. Like he's a monster, but he just needs somebody to help him on presence. I think I gave him grief one time because we were at a show somewhere and he flipped the referee the bird. And I pulled him to the side. I'm like, what are you doing flipping somebody off? You're a giant. You don't do that. This is all you need. You need to look at that referee and have that referee cream like poop his pants. You know,
That'll do it for me. Like,
yeah, if you're
you don't
flipping
need
the
to do any of
bird,
this.
I said, what are you, some Bollywood kid that got kicked out of the club and you're mad because your fake ID didn't get you in? He started laughing. I'm like, come on, man. Because it's tough when you're this big and you're also athletic to remember how big you are and your presence. And it's funny, I take those same lessons from that I got from Mark Calloway, that I got from Hulk, about presence and stuff. And Andre understood that because Andre was the best ever. It took me a while. I got it. So now hopefully I can save Satnam a little bit of time and headache and help him along the way. That'd be nice.
Now, what's the most rewarding part of being part of AEW and helping shape this, this new generation of wrestling?
Building.
We've always been kind of, we've seen the main one, but now AEW's really created a
Yeah.
staple in the game. Tell me about it.
Building. We're building something authentic. I mean, you know, the other product is an incredible product. It's a billion followers social media wise, blah, 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 blah. This is a grassroots authentic program. This started by some guys that couldn't get hired by the other place or left the other place and were looking to put on a show because they love wrestling. And they created an opportunity and they brought in somebody else that loves wrestling, Tony Khan. Tony Khan loves wrestling. And that's the thing, AEW isn't the family empire, but it's a family passion. So they run it with respect and they run it with dignity and they run it with care and they give the talent the opportunity to succeed. You don't have 20 writers in the back writing promos for the talents.
Right.
We're all the same taglines or all the same kind of promos. Or, here's your ring entrance. We'll put a spotlight here, walk 10 steps here. Here's your signature ring pose you do every time you go to the ring. That's a cookie cutter manufactured product. Not saying it's not a great product. If you know behind the scenes, it's very regulated. We don't have that in AEW. When a talent has a promo, that's the talent. Nobody. You think anybody's writing MJF's promos? No.
No.
I mean, and that's why he's like a heel. He's like an old school Piper or Flair. I mean, I love MJF as a person, as a talent. Yeah, I want to smash his face in the turnbuckle without a doubt. Like, it'd be great. But I like that kind of feel, and I like the fact that the kids get the opportunity to go out and make a mistake. If they make a mistake, it's not like, oh, they made a mistake, so we'll take them off TV for 3 months and repackage them. No, they can fail. Failing is part of learning. We used to be able to do that years ago because you had live events. There wasn't social media. There wasn't the internet. There wasn't all the constant eyes on the product. So you could make mistakes. You could miss spots and miss tags and blow things and oh wow, or try something and oh that was really dumb. It's tough for the younger talent now. As many benefits as they have with exposure and building their brand, it's also, I understand, equally tough for them because there's not a lot of forgiveness, and they might be stuck in something and they're trying to figure their way out. And sometimes the fans don't see what's happening yet. So it's tough for these kids to find their character, find their gimmick, and make that connection. So if I can help them, I'm down 100%. Absolutely.
That's awesome, man. Paul Wight here with us, man. AEW, it's going down. Beach Break presented by Visit St. Pete Clearwater tomorrow, July 8th. Super excited for this show. Now, you have shared a ring with tons of legends.
Yeah,
Who's like
very lucky.
yeah, who's the one guy that like taught you most about the business?
Ooh, you can't encapsulate the word the business in one word because there's so many different aspects. I have learned from every veteran that I worked with. Famous line from Arn Anderson: "If you can't tone it, tan it. Fat looks better brown." That was just a philosophy back then. Like, if you can't tone it, tan it. Fat looks better brown. We're on TV. There's so many things I learned from Hope, so many things I learned from Savage. I tried to pay for breakfast one time with him and Hulk, and I pulled my credit card. He goes, "No, put that credit card away. Don't run with the Joneses. Let Hogan pay." You know?
No way he said it just like that.
Oh,
That's
just like that.
crazy.
Just like right in front of Hulk too. Like, no, put that credit card away. Don't run with the Joneses. Let Hogan pay. Because he was like, you're young, you're starting out. Save your money. You don't have to spend money. Da 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 da. Fine, be frugal with your money. You don't know how this job's going to last, and you don't. Injuries, business, anything can happen. And I think that's an important lesson to learn that you got to be smart with. You don't have to roll like you're top tier talent right off the bat. You don't have the years that Chris Jericho's in or a rock band or all that success and financial liquidity like a guy like Chris Jericho has. You can't run like that your first couple years in the business. Chris was very frugal. I remember Chris, staying at Red Roof Inns and driving a Taurus, like four guys deep in a Taurus. Like
No way.
yeah, they've done that. You can't look at where someone is now, not understanding where they started. It's okay where you are. Where you are today is okay. Live accordingly and live smart. So as far as guys' talent, to answer your question, so many great people. Hogan, Savage, some stuff from Flair. I might have learned what not to do. um, I think probably throughout my career, probably the guy that helped me the most when I was the greenest as far as everything was probably Undertaker.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah, I gotta give him the credit because Taker was on my ass a lot. He's got a broken tendon in his finger.
Really?
So I would come through the curtain. He'd always have that broken finger, and he would do that. You don't want to hear it. Like every night, that was something I was doing wrong. Sometimes I knew it before I did it, but I'd still get this. And I remember one night I messed up, and I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to see his face. I didn't want to talk to Vince. I didn't want to hear it. So I went side ramp. As soon as I come through the curtain, Taker was there with his finger. He knew I went side ramp. He didn't let me get away. But it's funny, is a lot of the things that he taught me about locker room etiquette, handling stuff business wise, I learned from him. I mean, he taught me a lot because he was the one that was, hey, this, and this, and I find myself helping the younger talents out with the same kind of information. I actually talked to him a couple months ago about it. And he started laughing. He goes, "Well, at least you finally learned something." I was like, "Yeah, finally." What was the thing I went to him early in our relationship? I went to him and I was looking for because younger talent's always looking for a that boy. They go out there, they feel good, they didn't make any mistakes in the match. This is great. I'm awesome, right? So I went, "Hey man, what'd you think? You got any advice? Got any tips? Anything I do?" Because as a young guy, you're supposed to do that to the older talent. He says, "What do I think? I think you should take 2 weeks off and quit the business." And he walked off. So, like, don't come to me with that week you want a pat on the back, kid. You know what to do. Go out there and work hard. When the time's right, you'll earn it. It's not going to be given to you. So I think it was tough love, but it was good love at the time.
That's cool. Now with Beach Break going down tomorrow,
Right.
like how do you compare? Like aside from being on the scene already, in AEW and been there for a few years now, how do you compare like this new kind of form of locker room as opposed to the one that you've been around for so many years?
Business changes. Business changes. Like when I started, guys were drinking before matches. They smoked cigarettes. They were old and beat up. They medicated themselves. We didn't have a trainer.
Wow.
I mean, I taped my own ankle one day because I twisted my ankle, and Randy Savage found out he could tape ankles, and he made me tape his ankle for him. Hey, brother, can you tape my ankle? I'm like, "Dude, I'm not a trainer." He goes, "Yeah, but you know how to tape it. Can you tape my ankles?" And he said, "I'll buy the tape." So like, I know when I started, there weren't trainers. Now there's trainers, there's doctors on site. Healthcare is super important. The business is progressive. The locker room's going to change too. It's not the environment that it was when I started. There were a lot of guys in the business back when I started that had been around that were pretty devious. They would tell you something, but they weren't telling you for your benefit. They were telling you to fail so that they could succeed. They were clawing and digging, holding. It's not like that now. There's a good source of community, especially in our locker room. There's a real good source of community where I feel like everybody is rooting for each other. It's competitive. Guys want to have better matches. You definitely want to go through the curtain, and when you come back through, you want to live and say, yeah, go ahead and try to follow that. That's always going to be there in the entertainment aspect. But I think the general business has changed. You don't have the lone rebels that you used to have back in the day, because back in the day there were territories. You had guys that hated each other in the Memphis territory, hated each other in the Portland territory, and now they're in this one company, and there's they dated the same girl, or they married the same girl, or all that drama back in the day was always prevalent. There was guys that always carried knives in their bag just in case something got out of hand. Like, hey, it's not. I don't think it's that way now. I find the locker room over and all, there are guys that they take care of their bodies better. They eat healthier. They go to the gym. They stretch. They go to the trainers. They get massage therapy. They stay hydrated. A lot of those old timers would sweat for 40 minutes and then go out and drink all night. And the next day, they go to the gym in the morning, sweat, and then they drink all night, do the same thing over. They wonder why they were burning themselves out at both ends. And I think the business has changed where it's more conducive to a talent to have a longer career, a healthier career. It's going to evolve. What I think is cool or what I think is right, and I'll tell the younger talent when I give advice, hey, you have to do what feels right for you. This is my opinion on this, but if it doesn't feel right for you, that's okay too. You have to find your way. I'm telling you what I felt about what this was done here. And if you're an old timer and you talk to a guy after his match, sure, you're going to have hindsight's 2020. You're going to have all the wisdom and all, well, you shouldn't have done this here, and you should. I don't do that. I said hindsight's 2020. That doesn't help anyone. What were you thinking when you did this? Is my question. Why did you do this? Okay, well, you didn't get that reaction. So how do we make sure we get the reaction you want? That might not be the move. That might not be the sell. That might not be the promo. How do we find so you hit all the beats and rhythms that you want to hit? That's the way I try to approach it. And some, prime example. Years ago, I'll probably get in trouble for telling this, but I'll tell it anyway. Years ago, Kofi is a real good friend of mine. I love Kofi Kingston and had some singles matches with him. And I saw Kofi as a guy that was on his way to becoming a champion. He had. The next thing you know, he shows up with these two basically dipshits next to him, these two guys, and he's doing a three-man group. Now, the three-man group that was before them was like the three-man band or something like that, some horrible thing that flopped with some pretty good talent in it. And I went to Kofi, I said, Kofi, what are you doing? Let me talk to you. And I pulled him to the side, which, Woods and Eve say I pulled him about 5 feet away. I think it might have been 10 feet, not 5 feet. I said, dude, why are you carrying these two chumps? I said, you're going to mess up your own singles career. And he goes, just watch this. It's what we're doing. Tell me what you think. And they went out and did their first run as New Day. And they came back to the crew. And I went, I'm completely wrong. Don't listen to a thing I said. That was magical. Don't change a thing. But I saw it after it was done, and I'm okay with that. It doesn't have to be the best idea. If the idea works, and it has to resonate here, because if it doesn't resonate with the talent, the audience is going to know it's being contrived.
Right.
These wrestlers are scared to say the word fake, but they're going to know it's fake. It's contrived. So it's got to be authentic. It's got to come from the heart. That's why I really enjoy AEW. I love the promos because they're coming from the heart, and the talent are finding their way. And then you'll really feel some authentic miracles will happen. The Briscoe promos are just unbelievable, because he's got the teeth missing, and he's talking about dog fights, and he's talking about barbecue, and he's got kids to feed, and he's just going, and then he'll loop it all around something. I'm like, no one could ever write that for him. That's beautiful. The stuff MJF does when he cuts his promos, MJF gets so much heat when he opens his mouth and his eyes.
Oh, yeah.
He believes it. You can look at him and you want to punch that smug son of a gun right in the face. I love seeing that stuff. Kyle's doing a great job, with his promos. He's got such an arrogance and an aloofness and a better than you, which is an MJF line, but a better than everything type attitude that, his stuff was coming along really good. So for me, that's the exciting part. Everybody can see the cake once it's done and everybody gets to eat it and it's frosted and, I'm dieting, so I'm thinking about cake.
Oh man,
But
don't do that. Don't do it now.
but
Don't fall back.
sometimes it, but sometimes it's cool to see how it's made. Did they use sugar? Did they use eggs? Did they use this? Did they use that? However, like I've ever made a cake. I've eaten a lot of them, but I've never made one. But sometimes being a part of that building process is exciting too. For me, at this stage of the game, I like seeing the talent grow and get better, and being a part of that little magic.
I've been seeing the Sandman out here doing sequels to like Happy Gilmore and all these
Oh,
other
dude.
movies. If he calls you back for Waterboy 2, will Captain could you just pitch him? Hey, can Captain Insano for the one time get it in with Bobby Boucher in the ring?
Adam Sandler calls me, I'll come over and wash his cars, whatever he needs. You know what I mean? Like, my name is Paul and I do it all. What do you need? Yeah, that's been a great gift. That whole character has been such an iconic character, the Captain Insano character. And Tony getting permission to use that in wrestling is great. I think uh, if I can get it going and get Captain Insano rock and rolling, I think it would only make sense to include that. But a lot of that's on me too. So I got to have my stuff ready to. It's nice to sit back and wish and dream and ponder, but you got to lace your boots up and get the work done. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. And hey, if you need somebody on your writing team to write a Captain Insano like
Dude, all I
like
ever
a
did was rip
prequel.
off Hulk. All I ever did was rip off Hulk.
Oh, come on, man.
That's all I did. That's all I did. That read was, I think, I was the last one to read for it, and I wasn't going to. And the casting
Really?
director said, "You haven't read for me." I said, "No." I said, "It's not really my thing." And she's like, "Will you please read?" And I was like, "I've never done it before. I don't know what to do." She says, "Well, just you know what a promo is?" I said, "Yes, of course." She says, "We'll cut a promo," and I'm just like, "So what is this guy?" He's like a real hard fighter, hard charger. He's called Captain Insano, and I was like, "All right." So I just completely ripped. When Captain Insano shows no mercy, man, it's just basically,
Yeah, yeah,
you know
yeah.
who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had to come back and tell Hulk. I said, "Dude, I just completely ripped you off." He's like, "Hey, bro,
Downloaded the whole
hey."
style.
Yeah, he was totally fine with it. So I'm looking forward to it because it's a different character. It's not Paul Wight. It's not my old character. It's not the Giant. It's Captain. And Captain Insano is a completely different character with completely different energy. A lot of energy because Captain Insano's got to be like, it can't be Captain Insano and, he's sitting on the ring post like a turtle taking a nap. It's not that guy. Captain
Right.
Insano's got to have a lot of energy. Hence all the weight loss and cardio.
Well
Yeah.
played, sir. Well played.
Yes, sir. So we're thinking ahead, so we're working on it. But yeah, we're looking forward to having a lot of. Might need to update the uniform though. I don't know. I don't know. The stars are cool, but we need to update the gear somehow. So we'll work on it. I'm sure the fans will let me know if I break out some new gear. Go back to the old gear. The new
Yeah,
gear sucks. And I'll be like, yeah, okay, you're right. You're right.
the purists.
Yeah, the purist. Yeah, the purist. I'm ruining the business. Yes.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Paul Wight, the legend.
Thanks,
An
man.
honor to really
Are you
be
coming to
in
the
the
show?
presence of you. Yes, I am
All right.
hitting up Matt for tickets. I want to go tomorrow. I'm excited
All right.
about it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'll be the
it's
big, tall, bald guy. I won't be hard to
yeah,
miss.
yeah, yeah. I'll keep an eye out for you. You know what I
Don't
mean?
confuse me with Bill. He's tall, but he has a lot of hair. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been around Bill. Yes, just as tall. Yes,
yes.
ginormous dude. Jesus,
No.
you guys, man, greats are going to be there at Beach Break. AEW Beach Break presented by Visit St. Pete Clearwater tomorrow, July 8th. I'm excited for it. Paul Wight will be in the building. So many great stars in there. AEW's killing it right now. Paul, really appreciate you taking the time, man. This means a lot.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'll see you tomorrow.
For sure.
There you go, brother. Thank
We'll
you.
see you. All right. Have a good one.